Hi, this is Melissa, and this little video is going to show you how to use ProPhoto, the ProPhoto area in your WordPress website. It's really easy to find. It's over here on the left-hand menu, and you probably won't need to ever use the Manage Designs. If we've designed the site for you, this is where you'll find it will say Site Custom Design by Melissa Love, and you shouldn't need to touch that or do anything to it. If you wanted, though, however, to do a duplicate of the site, maybe you want you've got a weddings website and you want a children's portraits website and you want to use the same look and feel, you can export the design there, import it into another ProPhoto installation, and then just change colours or fonts or whatever to suit. But basically, you shouldn't really need this. The area that you might need is the area called Customize. And these are the basic functions within your ProPhoto theme area. Most you won't need to touch, but the ones which I think you will be interested in are particularly your fonts area. If you have any change to the fonts that you're using, this is where you'll change the global styles, the overall links and the colours, and you can just turn them on and off, set the colour by using a picker. It's really simple. And when you finish doing that, you can save the changes and you're done. If there is a font that you want to use that isn't here in the site already, what you can do is get web-ready fonts. If you go somewhere like fontsquirrel.com, you can create font kits out of, you can upload them and create them, download them, and simply upload the zip file here. But if we've been working with you, we've probably set the font styles, so you might never need to use this, but if you do, this is where you would go. So back to the control panel. The other area you will probably need to use is the one for if you have a homepage slideshow. This is where you'll find it. It's different to galleries, which you'll find in the rest of your site. It's the only thing that's different, but this is where you'll find it. So if you have a homepage slideshow, it's probably a masthead image slideshow. And if you were going to do that, you would see that the slideshow of images is ticked, and it probably only appears on the home page, and those are what your settings will look like. There's two parts to your slideshow. The first is some of you might have a frame which sits either behind or in front of that slideshow to make it look really beautiful. If you've got that and you wanted to change those images, you probably wouldn't want to change the frame, but if you did, this is where you'd see it. And if you have got a frame, I've probably given it to you as a layered Photoshop file so you can change it easily. But the slides themselves sit below here, and you can see there's several sitting below there. Okay, it's really, really important that the width, if you're using a frame, and that's 801 pixels, is exactly the same, and it's set the same, and it will tell you, it will say image size correct. If it's different, things might be slightly offset or not quite lining up right, so it's really important to get that right. The key is, if you do have something like that that requires an exact size for your header, I will have given you the Photoshop layered file. All you'll need to do is swap out the layers that you want to change, and then really importantly, save it as a PNG. There'll probably be blank areas or transparent areas that we need to make it work within the frame. So as long as you remember to save it as a PNG and you keep the same dimensions as the frame, you shouldn't have any problems. You can actually upload as many as you like and save the changes. You can control the speed and the way that the slideshow works. You can see there 2 seconds between transition. It's just set to fade. You could have it to slide vertically, for example. And if you wanted to change the order, you go here and you can just simply drag them up and down. Okay, when you're ready, you just hit Save Changes. So if we go back to the Customize tab, if you wanted to control your contact form, this isn't done on the page, this is done via the Customize ProPhoto area. Your general options show you links and things which are easy to control, and this is where you'll find the email address that the form is using. You probably won't need to touch any of the design things, but what you can do is add additional fields. So if you want extra boxes on your contact form, this is where to add it. And you can also change some of the text that's shown, and you can disable that kind of anti-spam thing which normally asks you for a simple question or a sum. There we go, you can disable that if you want to. If you're worried that you might not have picked up on anything that's coming through, you can see all of the different submissions that you've had through that form. Now, if you're wondering where to edit the actual text for your contact form, and if we have a look at the contact form here, you can see it drops down, but it doesn't appear as a page in your list of pages. Where it actually lives is here, under Appearance and Widgets. So widgets are things that you can drag into your sidebar sometimes or into your footer, but in this case, ProPhoto creates a special widget area for your contact form. If you click on that, you can see here is the text. So there's just a load of nonsense text in there, so I'm going to delete that. I'm going to save it. And if we refresh our browser, we reveal the contact form again, you can see the changes have been made. So that's where you find the contact form. One thing that is quite hard to do if you're wanting to add an image, what you'll have to do first is add the image into your media library, take a little cut and paste of the URL of that image, and you'll need to paste in here with a HTML image link. And that's something you can easily Google, and if you have any problems with knowing how to do that, just let me know. Okay, and finally, let's just pop back and I'll show you one more area in the ProPhoto. If you're using galleries, this is where you can control how your galleries move and react, though we will have done that for you already most likely. But there's a couple of things here. ProPhoto does generate a kind of mobile version. Personally, my preference is to use the desktop site. It organises itself very well for tablets, iPads, iPhones. So that would be my recommendation, and that's probably how I will have set your site for now. And I'm going to show you site settings. Site settings are where if you're using your, you want a standard link that when you're sharing the home page to Facebook, you can put a description there that people always see on Facebook and upload a thumbnail image. If you want to, you can put in you just follow the link here to get your Facebook numeric ID, and for some different widgets it uses that. You can link up your Twitter as well. If you haven't hooked up your analytics, this is the place to do it. What you're looking for here is the paragraph of tracking code, which is the very first thing that you're shown when you log into analytics and set it up. So this is where it goes, and just hit save when you've, and this is where you upload those custom images. And we may already have uploaded a favicon for you at your request, and there is a little tutorial if you have a little file you want to use, which directs you to a website which can make a favicon for you. And finally here, if you ever want to put the site under constructions because you're doing some changes, we've left the backup reminder on, though we'll talk about that in a different video. And you can also enable automatic updates here, which is always ticked as standard. And this is where your registration is, if you're worried about what your registration key is and if you want to know where that is. And that's pretty much all you need to know about ProPhoto.